Hey everyone, it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm excited to share with you guys another love it or leave it review on a brand new product from Tarte, and this is the Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2 palette. If you guys are familiar, the original Volume 1 palette came out way earlier in the year, around February I believe, in 2016. I jumped on the bandwagon with the whole Tarte Rainforest of the Sea collection. I loved every single item I tried out, whether it was foundation, concealer, this palette, the eyeshadow. You guys at this point have already seen my eyeshadow palette review. I love all of them, so I was really excited to see they came out with a second Twinkle palette. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some information about this product, share with you guys my thoughts and opinions, compare it to the original one. I'll show you it on the face, and then we'll go through some swatches as well. So let's start off by talking about the description of this product. It is currently only available on Tarte's website. I have a feeling, much like the other Rainforest of the Sea collection from Tarte, it will eventually be sold at Sephora. Currently right now it's only on TarteCosmetics.com, which is where I purchased mine, and it does retail for $42. So let me show you really quickly. Here's what the palette looks like. It's really pretty purple, green, blue colors, typical of the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea collection. And then here's what the palette looks like, you guys. It is so stunning. And there's a lot of differences between these palettes, so let me tell you information about the new Volume 2 palette, and then we will get to comparing it. So it does have all the new Tarte Rainforest of the Sea collection benefits, being that it's got the complex, it's got the coconut, the vitamin E, all that good stuff that you can read online. But as far as product performance, it says add a touch of twinkle to any look with the Skin Twinkle Highlighter Palette. The 4 new slurry micro shimmer powders, you can illuminate all skin tones and spotlight the high points of the face for a lit from within glow. Wear each alone or layer for a multi-dimensional effect with no heavy glitter for the most natural look. Each antioxidant-rich powder helps hydrate and smooth the skin for even applications and long-lasting effects without creasing into fine lines or clinging to dry patches. So that is a little information about it. Let me then read you guys the description of the original one, because that's where a huge difference is honestly the product performance and the formula. So the original one was a little bit bigger too, to let you guys know. The original one is 5.7. If you guys remember, it had the 2 highlighters and then the setting powder, and this one has a total of 4. So the original Twinkle palette has 5.6 grams in it, and this new one only has 5. So there is a little bit of a difference for the same price, but not a huge deal overall. So the original one looks like this, and the description said, awaken the skin with a radiant twinkle using sleek, strobing, and highlighting palette. That is a difference between these two. This one, I would say the original Volume 1 is more of a strobing palette, meaning it's more of that natural radiant look. It's not going to be highlight from the moon. Although they do build up nicely, it's still always going to give you this natural glow from within. Where I say the new Volume 2 palette is definitely a highlighter palette, very intense. You can build these up and be beyond the moon seeing them. That's how intense and gorgeous they are. So definitely, if you want something more subtle and natural, I would go with this one. If you want something that can be really intense if you wanted to, I would go with the new Volume 2 palette. So again, with the Volume 1, it says, with a versatile trio of silky perfecting powders, you can filter and reflect light for a soft focus glow. Again, that soft focus glow being more natural looking. The middle filtered light shade offers you the go-to setting powder in universal matte sand that brightens and corrects any darkness under the eyes. Paired with 2 full-size luminous perfecting powders, you can illuminate the contours of the face for a natural looking glow no matter your skin tone. So yes, the old palette does have the setting powder, the new one does not, which I am really happy about. I wasn't super crazy about that setting powder to begin with, so I really like that this is an entire highlighting palette. So now let's get to swatching the palette. I will swatch both of these palettes. You will see pre-swatches, and then you will see live brush swatches as well. To give you guys a reference on my face, I have mixed Daylight and Skylight together to give this highlighted look right here. So let's go ahead and jump into the swatches, and when we come back, I will give you guys the comparison and my final thoughts on the new Volume 2 palette. So this first shade is called Daylight, and Daylight is one of my 2 favorite shades in this palette, and Tarte describes it as a white gold. So it's going to look very similar at first to the next shade, which is called Skylight. The only difference is this one has a gold undertone, whereas the other one is going to have a white undertone. But you can see it is so pigmented, it is so silky, it's so smooth. I really, really love it. This next one is called Skylight, and this is a pearl shade, so this one has that strong white undertone. I love mixing Daylight and Skylight. These are the 2 shades in the palette that absolutely make this palette stunning. Next, we have the shade Spotlight, which is described as a champagne color. I do think it takes a little bit more effort to build up than the first two shades. It is really pretty. I do think this one and the next one, although they are really nice and the formula is different than the original palette, they tend to be a little bit more rough than the first two for whatever reason. They still feel very foiled compared to the old formula, but there's something about these two shades that makes them slightly a notch below the first two. So then this last one is called Candlelight, and this is described as a rose gold. This one is a really pretty color. I do think it is the weakest highlight in the palette. So now I'm going to share with you guys a comparison to the original formula just because I want you guys to see what this second palette looks like compared to the first one. So the first shade is called Sunlight, and this one is a champagne gold. And I do think this one is pretty weak, as you can see, or at least not weak, it just is much more of a strobing natural highlight. As you can see, it's not quite as strong. Then I'm going to go over to the third one because we are just comparing highlights. And this one is Moonlight, which is a rosy purple. And you can see it's still lighter than the Volume 2 Rose Gold color. So this one overall has a much different feel than the new Volume 2 palette. This one has a very, very lightweight, silky feel, but it's so ultra lightweight. Almost like you can't even feel that it's actually on your finger. Very, very lightweight, silky, beautiful, but a natural finish. And then with the new palette, it has this new beautiful formula. This palette right here, the new formula, reminds me so much of Becca Cosmetics highlighters, whether it's Champagne Pop, Rose Quartz, whatever it may be. That formula, how it's very thick and dense and very, very buttery and can be very powdery, that's what this formula is exactly like. All three of them right here are phenomenal, just like Becca Cosmetics, if you're familiar with that formula. I will say this one right here is still kind of got that like foiled feel to it like Becca Cosmetics do. It's very dense. However, I will say this one's like a notch down compared to these other three for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I feel like this one isn't quite as amazing. So I just want to say right now, if for whatever reason, whether it be because you like this color or this is the only color that's going to work for you, paying $42 just for this shade right here, I would not buy the palette. But if you can get use out of everything else in this palette, then I think it's worth it. But buying it just for this shade, no. I don't think this one is the most amazing highlighter ever worth $42 for this size either. So I just wanted to throw that out there just because I don't find that this formula is quite as amazing as this, but I still think it has a different amazing formula compared to the Volume 1. So these do have a lot of powder and kick up when you use them, as you guys saw probably with the swatches. So do know that there's going to be kick up. It's going to be a lot of powder. Some people like that. Some people totally hate that. Just want to throw that out there for you guys. But these look beautiful on the skin. You can definitely take a more fluffy brush and give it a little bit more of a natural to medium look with the highlight, or you can go in with a smaller, more dense brush. That's what I did today. It's technically a Real Techniques eyeshadow brush, but I like to use it to pack on color. That's what I did today. So the lighter the brush, the lighter the hand, you're gonna have a little bit more of a normal highlighted finish. If you want something more intense, use more dense brushes, and definitely, trust me you guys, you can build it up even more than this. I'm not even kidding. These are stunning and gorgeous. Also, I do want to mention with these, because these are all going to look like highlighters we already have in our collections. You guys, I could not find a single dupe. I could not. I tried Urban Decay Sen. I tried all my Becca Cosmetics. I tried all my Urban Decay After All. I tried Cover FX. I tried Makeup Forever. I'm trying to think what else. I tried all my Lorac. I thought Lorac was going to be the closest. I'd say as far as formula goes, Becca is the closest formula to this, and then next would be Lorac. Lorac had a little bit more of a dry formula compared to these. But as far as colors, I thought Lorac, all those Color Source highlighters was going to be the most similar. And after all, I swatched like arms and arms full of swatches. Nothing was an exact dupe. These all had like a slight different tone than everything else. Nothing was even close. So I did really like that about this palette, that it couldn't easily be duped either, which is really fantastic. And it did not look very similar to any of these shades in here as well. I love these. I think the new formula is fantastic. I honestly prefer this new formula. I do think this one is really great. This is really great for work days, you know, everyday natural look, weddings, special events, things like that. I do think this is really great, but I really love this formula because I personally love Becca Cosmetics formula for their highlighters. So if you love them, you're going to love this. I think these three right here are stunning. I love that they have this shade right here, Skylight. This one is going to be perfect for fair skin tones. This one right here, Daylight, is perfect for lighter skin tones. If you're like me or lighter, you can mix these two together and customize them. Then you have Spotlight, that's medium, and then you have Candlelight, which is kind of a rose coppery color. This one is perfect for those deeper skin tones. But overall, I really love the shades in here. I love the colors. I love the size. It's travel friendly. It's cute. You do get a nice big mirror. Overall, I'm just so happy with this palette. I really love this volume 2 more than the volume 1 palette. The colors in here are gorgeous. You can mix, you can match. I love it. I love the formula. I'm so happy with this, you guys. It's definitely a love it. I would highly recommend it to you guys if you're interested in purchasing at Tarte Cosmetics, or eventually down the line when it does come to Sephora. I would definitely get your hands on it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the review and the swatches and the comparison on the new Tarte Skin Twinkle Volume 2 palette. If you did, give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little notification button next to the subscribe button. That way you stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I'll see you guys very soon.